Hey guys, so we're gonna do here today is just go over a couple of our matches. I want to show a couple or showcase a couple of pretty solid matches that we had. Just analyze how we played throughout the games and see where we can improve. So here, I know the quality isn't great, but I was able to rip this from the stream. You have me on the right playing Crocodile versus my opponent that's purple. Now, it's widely thought in the community that blue just loses to purple, but there are very sneaky ways that blue can get around purple's strong turns, and I'm pretty sure in this matchup my opponent went first, open stage on 3. So let's just see how we were able to pull this game off. So starting off, my opponent goes first, does a quick little cheeky pass. I draw for turn at 6 cards in hands, and I passed, nothing to play on 2. Even if I had a law here, I wouldn't go ahead and cast it because I feel like that's one of the most important cards in this matchup. My opponent goes and plays the stage while going ahead and putting himself up to 4 Dawn. I go ahead and take this hit as I don't really have anything good in my hand, I believe, at this point in time. Anything worth defending. So my hand is looking really questionable. I was made to go second. So I'm going to go ahead and attack here before I do anything. I don't want to make sure to play any of my characters just yet and make sure that my opponent gets any value off of anything in his life. So I'll go ahead and attack here first and then use up all of my Dawn to summon a Pacifista. Now, this is unfortunate going into his 6th turn. If he has a king here, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed. Fortunately enough, I go ahead and see my opponent pick up his Dawn, do a little thinking. And when I see him tap all 6, I knew I was doomed. But fortunately, it's not king, it is Brachio Bomber, so I didn't have the nut curve. But my opponent is ramping up from 6 to 7 to 8, making sure that he's at 10 Dawn on the next turn, which is still very powerful, nothing to scoff at. He goes and attacks. This time I'm going to go ahead and defend with a Weevil, and I'm going to go all the way up to 6 Dawn. And here's where Crocodile starts getting some good turns, right? So the 6th turn is one of the more pivotal turns in blue, as I'm able to, I believe, yep. So I have Sentamaru on 6. I'll go ahead and full tap here. I do this just to make it a little faster, but it is a 3 mana to summon the Sentamaru, 1 to put under, and 2 to activate the skill. I take some time here to go ahead and look through my deck just so I can make sure I understand or have a good idea of what's going to be in my life. So I do often take a little bit of time, and that's why it was unfortunate this was a best of 1 35-minute rounds, because like within all the shuffling and the thinking that you have to do, and then you're looking through your deck, it just starts to consume time, especially in the mirror. So my opponent goes back to his turn. He's at 10 Dawn. And when I see him tap the 9, leave the 1, I know that he just has the nut curve. This is just the curve that you die to, you know? This is the stage on 3, get blown up on the following, and Kaido on the next. So very strong turn for my opponent. He goes ahead and minuses the 5, going down to 5, and then he taps the stage, going to 6, swinging with his leader, which I know I have to defend this. I can't get to 2, especially with the amount of pressure that he has on the board, right? If you go down to 2 against purple, you're most certainly dead. I can't block the 10. It just requires too many cards, so I just have to eat that one. No trigger. Back to my turn, I go to 8 Dawn, but I do have a 6k on the board now. 6k on the board is a formidable foe. My opponent is at 4 life, so as long as I start developing some cards here, I should be in a good spot. So I go to start to think, and I go ahead and attach 1 Dawn to my leader and make it 6. So I make him have to deal with the cards that I'm putting down on the board. 6 is a more, a trickier number. It's 2 cards or a 2k counter. So it's definitely something he has to think about now. Is 7k. Now that's a big boy. This is trying to bait out a Blast Breath. And as I see that my opponent taps here, he's thinking about it, because 7k is 3 cards, or a 2 and a 1, or just a Blast Breath. So he thinks to himself, all right, I can do the Blast Breath, but Blast Breath here, he's over comboing by 2. Which is exactly what we want. We're going to go ahead and develop, just go wide here, and make sure to use all of our Dawn. Summoning a Mihawk is not something I want to do, but I don't think I'm out comboing a 10k anyways, and just seeing the way my opponent's playing, I put him on swinging at me for 5. And I can definitely out combo a 5. So my opponent's going to go here, play a Jack for 3. I'm down. He pitches a stage though, so it's not pitching combo power, which I'm not too happy about, but it is what it is, right? That's the point of the Jacks. I'm down to 3 life. He's down to 3 life, but I have 3 bodies on the board. Let's see how he goes and tries to take this from here. He's already 1 Blast Breath down, so he goes here, and I believe he plays a Sasaki. And then he goes down and plays a Maria. 10k swings. I'm not sure if he's swinging at life or Pacifista. He goes and says life. Fortunately, I did know there was a Boa Hancock in my security, and it did trigger here. This Boa Hancock is huge for me, as it's going to be able to chump block the 10k, and I don't have to be too afraid. Now, he's going to go for my Pacifista. My Pacifista must live. That card is one of my big combo cards. So I'm going to go ahead and combo here with the Teach. Now, Teach feels bad to combo because he does have a Black Maria. Me using the Teach for Black Maria is good, but again, it is what it is. So I'm just thinking about what my next turn is going to be. I see I have a Flamingo in hand, and I'm planning to just Mingo him, make sure I have Mingo pressure on the board. I do have the blocker, and I just have a lot going on here. He's going to go ahead and -7 here, and this was a pivotal mistake on my opponent's part. You do not -7 this early because now he is behind in Dawn. He is 2 Dawn in his board. He's going to go to 4 next turn, and 4 I can out combo out of 4 any day of the week, right? So if I just put him on a ton of pressure here, he's going to have to block. He's going to pitch a billion cards, and he's going to die on the following turn. And this is the mistake I was looking for in order to win this game. So I do have 4 characters on board. I'm at 10 Dawn. 10 Dawn means I'm -4ing every single day of the week. Just want to go ahead and attach my Dawn properly before I go ahead and do that. So I go ahead and go for the Mihawk. I'm going to go ahead, swing for 6k, trigger his when attacking effect, make sure that I get to cycle some cards in my hand and get better results. I'm going to go ahead and pitch a Sables and a Flamingo because I believe I have multiples of those cards in hand. And at this point in time, they're not getting summoned this game. So again, 6k, he eats this one, which is bizarre. And now I got to do a little bit of thinking here because him taking that hit kind of changes the game plan. I wasn't thinking that he would just eat a 6k for fun. He has only 3 cards in hand. He's nowhere, you know, he's been jacks. I mean, he's been using Jack. He's been going very aggressive with his cards, pitching cards and things like that, comboing early, over comboing. And this is a turn where he's fully tapped out. So being fully tapped out is very dangerous. I'm just thinking how I can go ahead and pressure as much as possible while flipping the board. I'm going to go 5k at lead. 5k is a number that you're going to have to just lose a card, right? Or take the damage. And losing a card it's just what I want. I'm not going to kill him here. I don't think I'm going to kill him. And he just takes that hit. I'm going to go here with another 5k. And here's where things get a little spicy on his part. I think he's thinking about taking the block, so he goes and he over combos by 1 once again. Still at 1 life left. I don't believe I can kill him here because I just have the Pacifista up. So I'm thinking about how I want to go ahead and maneuver this turn. I have most of my attackers are gone. I just have the Pacifista left at this point in time. So doing a little thinking. I'll go 7 here. This is most certainly going to take down one of the Black Marias, right? That's when my thought process is, and he just takes it, and I'm just so mind blown. I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 Dawn here. I'm going to play another Mihawk. This is kind of crazy because I'm losing combo power in hand. But once again, I'm not feeling threatened. The Marias are 2Ks. There's no way he ever puts all 4 Dawn on them and tries to attack with them. I can out combo with the cards in my hand as long as I leave Dawn active. I always hate misusing my Dawn like this. Like, I notice that I have 1 Dawn extra, right? Because I'm leaving 2 up for most certainly for a Love Beam. So I wasn't expecting him to take some of these hits, so I guess my turn just became super duper weird. And I'm just keeping Flamingo in hand just to make sure that I have some sort of bouncing power. Or I think I have Sables as well, so I just have something that can deal with his board. Flamingoing a Jack or a Maria didn't seem like the way to go that turn. So he's going to go to 4. He's going to go and tap the stage, go to 5. And here's where things get weird for him. He's going to go and try to 6. So he's going to go ahead and do 6. He can't -7, but I can just out combo the 6 with a Mihawk in hand. I just drew all the Mihawks, eh? And he's going to go and... Yep, I blocked this hit. I have 1 life left. So I just have to out combo a 5k. The 10k I'm eating every day of the week. There's nothing I can do about that. So I just didn't mind. I know I can out combo the 5k because I still have the Love Beam showing. I don't mind out comboing by 4 here because I know that I'm most certainly living and that he's just dead on the following turn. And then he can send the 10 wherever he wants. It could be to life. It could be to Pacifista. Who cares? So one of the Black Marias is tapped this turn, and that most certainly just wraps up the game. His Dawn is completely spent. He has, I believe, 5 cards in hand, but I'm about to eat his entire hand in these swings. Very easily. I just have to turn all my 5k sideways, which I have, I believe, 1, 2, 3. I can attach one on Jinbei. That's 4 5Ks that he has to just lose a card, and then put all the rest of my Dawn under the Pacifista, and Pacifista will just end the game. So that's what I just started doing. I just started chucking these 5Ks at him. 5K. He goes ahead and blocks the Mihawk. I'm going to go ahead and 6K this. I didn't trigger Mihawk's effect because I just felt it was unnecessary. Going to 6K him again. And he can't even block the 6K. So yeah, the idea here was just make sure that he uses his hand and then make one unblockable swing. I believe I went, just going to pause this here. I went 1 Dawn, no Dawn, 1 Dawn, 1 Dawn, 1 Dawn. So 3 Dawn that is being used, and then 7 on the Pacifista, making that a 14 block without any combo power. That's just impossible after I eat 3 cards or 4 cards from your hand. And that's kind of what you want to do on the kill turns. You want to make sure to, if you have like a big body, let's say a Flamingo, Vanilla 6K, you want to go ahead and chip with 5s just to make sure that if they're at 0, they have to combo out of it. So they have to pitching cards, and then you just attach everything to your big number, and that should be the finisher for the game. Something that other people try to do is make sure like they'll swing with like multiple things at high numbers. So they'll swing with like a 9 and a 9. I feel like that's easier to combo out of, especially depending on like situations. So I just personally enjoy removing cards from hand and then just hitting with the highest number possible, making it almost impossible to block. And yeah, even with a stage into 6-drop removal into Kaido, I was still able to clutch the matchup. Literally no blockers. The only thing that happened that was kind of good in my direction was I had a Centamaru, I had a Sables at all points in time, I had Doflamingo, which never got summoned, and a Boa Hancock. I had literally Centamaru and Boa Hancock, and that was enough to win the game. The rest were vanillas. So as long as you play the matchup right, you take the pressure correctly, block when you need to, and apply pressure correctly, you got it. So thanks for watching, and as always, gaming.